quickly put the spotlight on the pharma space. Now, that's where a sword is hanging. President Trump has said tariffs are coming. We just don't know what, how much and when. We have Bino Pathiparampil, head of research at Elara, joining in for some quick thoughts. Bino, thanks for joining in. So obviously we have no numbers to really work with, but in terms of just exposure to the US as a percentage of total revenue, which are the companies that are at maximum risk as of now?
Hi, good morning. So most of the large Indian pharma companies have a pretty high exposure to the US generics market. Maybe after the Indian market, they are all exposed to the US market. If you name a few of them, Dr. Reddy's Labs, Zydus Lifesciences, Aurobindo, even Cipla and Sun Pharma, all of them have 30 to 40% of their revenues coming from the US market. So to that extent, all of them would be vulnerable if at all any significant tariff is imposed on Indian pharma by the Trump administration.
Okay. So most of the generic players would be impacted, but some also have facilities. I mean, Sun, for instance, Sun Pharma, they have manufacturing facilities either in the US, some could be in the zone of Canada, Mexico as well, where there is still a trade agreement in place. Do you expect any immediate supply chain changes if, let's say, Trump goes ahead with a 25% levy on pharma imports?
Supply chain changes in the pharmaceutical industry are pretty laborious and takes time. The US FDA approval for pharmaceutical products come tied to the facility from which they are manufactured. So if tariffs come through, it's not that from next week onwards you can more manufacture the product in the US or Canada or Mexico and stop or reduce manufacturing in India. The switch of manufacturing is a laborious process. So for the time being, the additional cost of tariff will have to be borne by somebody. We believe that most of it, maybe 80–90% of it, that will get passed on to the end customer, but still there could be a small part of it which may hit the margins of the generic company manufacturers.
Okay, all right. Bino, aside from Trump's tariffs, I want your view on Cipla. Bini has sent us an alert that they've received the US FDA approval for Abraxane, and I believe it's come sooner than expected, and I believe that this is used to treat cancer, namely breast cancer. Any view on it? How much of a positive is it?
This is an approval which has been expected for long. It was getting delayed because of the issues that Cipla had with their manufacturing quality at their Goa plant. The plant has now been cleared, and following that, the US FDA has approved the drug. The contribution from this drug is possibly already built into the current earnings estimates for Cipla. So this per se does not increase the earnings estimates for the coming couple of years. But at the same time, there was risk of further delays, which has been alleviated with this approval coming through. So it's a positive development.
All right, Bino, we'll sort of continue to track this closely, but appreciate you joining us this morning with those sort of specifics and that view and that commentary which is coming in at this point. I think we